3, 2, 1. We recorded. But this isn't like live broadcast, so we can do whatever we wish. And why does that look a little crooked?
I don't know. I set it up wrong.
Well, it always kind of writes itself. So there it is.
Maybe
Alright.
you have a brain tumor.
Maybe.
Hey everybody.
Hello.
We thought you'd give you an update in the form of a hot sauce challenge.
Yeah, so this isn't our typical hot thoughts. This is a little different. We don't really have a script set up or anything, but over the last couple of days, if you've been following along, we said that we would keep people updated with news or any information that we got regarding her head. And so yesterday and today we received a ton of news, a ton of updates about what's going on. And we thought what better way than to do one of our hot sauce challenges to give you updates. So it's a little fun and less kind of just dramatic.
Yeah, boring.
What I didn't know was that Kate was going to order 5 different super hot things off the internet. We usually have a rule in this house that you can't open a new hot sauce until an old one is gone, because we do so many of these challenges that otherwise our whole refrigerator would be filled with really hot things that you can't possibly put on anything and eat. But
post brain tumor rules, there are no hot sauce rules.
yeah, I think this is a little bit different. So if you want to
Do what I want.
you want 5 hot sauces opened up and going, then whatever, screw it, we'll do that. I am going to zoom in a little bit so they can actually see Pain face.
Hopefully there's not too much pain. Although these do smell really
No,
hot.
it's going to be painful.
Not the wings themselves, but the sauces.
I already know because I tasted one of them and it was
The
terrible.
back of this says more than one drop is
All right,
suicide.
so before we get into updates, we're going to keep you engaged and watching, so that if this was on YouTube, we want you to stay on because the average length of video viewing matters. So we're just going to go through the sauces. 1, Katie has ordered a Tropical Pepper Company Scorpion Pepper Deadly Hot Sauce. I've had the Scorpion Pepper. It's very hot. I'm not sure how this one
It's gonna be great.
ranks. Another Tropical Pepper Company one, Ghost Pepper Hot Sauce. We've had Ghost Pepper before. This is the hottest
I don't
pepper
feel like
that
these
there
can be
is.
that bad. They're from the Food Lion.
I mean,
Otherwise known as the Shitty Kitty.
no, you shouldn't swear on here. There might be kids watching.
Sorry.
But if you've ever seen that Food Lion commercial and they show this picture of a really, really fancy Food Lion and they're like,
Not ours.
they go, "This is your Food Lion." That is not our Food Lion.
No.
Ours is very different. And then we have this Tattoo Hot Sauce, Polynesian Sweet and Spicy.
They make great sauces.
And then we have another Tattoo Hot Sauce, Scotch
curry.
Bonnet Curry. I think this should be just fine.
It smells delicious.
And then she went all insane in the membrane, brain tumor, and bought some smoked ghost chili, dehydrated, straight chili pepper stuff that we're going to sprinkle on a wing here and see how that works out. So those are the 5 we're going to try.
Yeah.
I kind of broke this up, I think, into 5 sections. I hope I can remember what we want to talk about. But the first thing we want to do is we're going to try the first sauce. We're going to put that all over a wing and kind of tell you, or let Katie tell you, just how much she appreciates everybody. And
The Brad can cry.
I'm not going to cry, I swear.
It's not true.
And I will not cry during this video. Maybe the hot sauce cry. And just let you guys know how much it means to us to kind of like have you in our corner and
The fact that you care enough to watch this video right now.
yeah, and that you will watch this
Not just for the pain.
potentially. We are both the type of people who probably like we're strong people, I think, and we don't necessarily like need that, but it means a lot to us to hear from everybody and the outpouring of love and support
For sure.
for her in this endeavor. Also, she got her hair done today, in case nobody noticed. She's real concerned about
I've been struggling doing my hair, so I figured if Brad's gonna have to start helping me, then it should probably be less of it.
You want to do this?
Yeah.
So
So this is a Scotch Bonnet Curry.
Scotch Bonnet Curry. We love you guys. You're amazing.
Mm-hmm. And I'm really hungry, so.
Oh, nothing.
Oh, good. Kind of smoky heat.
On a scale of 1 to 10, for me, this is like a 4.
I would say 3.
3 for her. She has a brain tumor though, so listen to me.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Also, we got these delicious wings. Chex Wings and Grill. They're no joke. They have great wings.
Great for takeout.
Great for takeout. I'm not sure I'd take the family in there to sit down and hang out for a while, but their wings are no joke. So, that's wing number 1. Great sauce. Every family should have it in their kitchen cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Sold at the Food Line.
Sold at the Food Line. Or
But yeah, so much
shake.
gratitude for how much love everybody's been showing us, and
I need a napkin.
sorry to bring you
Yep. Slip it.
cracks. It's really kind of hard to believe that we've only lived here for 10 months and we feel like we have family here already.
And for those of you that are watching this from where we've lived previously, we still love you and you are our family. State College, Michigan, Ohio, we got love for all of those areas, but I mean
Charlotte is definitely home.
we're here now, and it has been overwhelming, the type and caliber of people that we've been interacting with. All right, so for the second hot sauce, that is kind of hot a little bit.
Not really. He's getting weak.
Whatever.
Okay, now we have the Polynesian sweet and spicy, which doesn't even really smell that hot, so
I'm so hungry.
I don't know. Better wait for your sauce, bud.
I got it. I was just finishing that other one.
Okay.
So I think when I drew this up in my head, wing number 2, which Katie's all over, was going to be like just a quick history, where we've been over the last 2 weeks, and an update on what we had to get done before we could actually give an update. So, it was 2 weeks ago, or 2.5 weeks ago, when she went into the hospital, and they take you, we're in the emergency room at a different hospital, and we come in, and the hospital room physician, Dr. Berger, who is amazing at Atrium, the other Atrium, not Maine.
Yeah, some more of that, please.
That's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Sits us down and, basically tells you, hey, I have bad news. She has a brain tumor. As any of you can imagine, that's a surreal experience at about 3 a.m.
He's like, do you need a minute? And we're like, I don't know. Like, what can we do with that information?
Yeah, and she's kind of out of it. She doesn't even really know where she is or what's going on.
No pants on.
No pants on. I'm standing there, like, trying to take this all in, and there's a few people in the room, and they're like, it's not great news. We found this. It's a brain tumor. Do you need a minute? And then, being us, we were like, I don't think so. Like, what do we do next?
Right.
Like, how do we handle this? ICU for 2 days, bunch of testing. They don't know what's wrong with her. They do a couple MRIs, a few tests.
Lots of medication for the last 2 weeks.
Lots of medication.
I don't know how people live this medicated all the time. I feel like I'm in a fog.
So they send her home for 2 weeks because the MRIs are inconclusive. There's a lot of swelling on her brain. So we've just been in the holding pattern for about 2.5 weeks, which kind of sucks. Like, for us, especially being the type of people we are, where we want to go and get things done and let's just tackle this. It's a really tense situation. She, amazing, like, super trooper.
Thanks, buddy. I just can't sleep. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning with my mind racing.
She gets up real early, about 3 a.m., but she's real tired about 8 p.m. So it all balances out. But that's what we've been dealing with for a couple of weeks. Well, yesterday was her functional MRI, which is, I guess, a pretty cool experience. I just sat in the waiting room, but she can tell you more about it.
It's kind of like forced meditation with a really weird DJ. I found it kind of calming.
Yeah, that's weird.
But they do have you like tap your fingers and like squeeze your toes at different points so that they can see different parts of your brain light up. Which we actually got to see today. They showed us which parts of the brain lit up.
Yeah, so for us, that felt like a step forward. Like, finally, we're getting a test done. We're figuring out what's
Some
happening.
sort of motion forward.
because we're just hanging out, not knowing what the hell's going on. And that's the functional MRI. And then if you're following along on the Facebook page or whatever, that ends and it's very anticlimactic.
They don't
And
tell you anything.
somebody comes out of the room and hands you a CD-ROM, literally a CD-ROM like you used to record mixtapes on. I think it even says Katie's MRI on it. And they're like, here you go. And
Yeah.
I don't know, like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? I don't know.
You have to wait for a physician to tell you what it says.
Yeah, I have a MacBook. Sorry, I can't look at this.
So they called us today and showed us the pictures over FaceTime.
So we saw the pictures today. Just in case I have to edit this, this is a little pause
Okay.
and do the third wing. We can talk about pictures. This is what people are waiting for. What's wrong with Katie? Oh,
Do
but
you want to go to Ghost Pepper or do you want to go to Scorpion?
Let's do Scorpion.
He seems scared.
I know I've done Scorpion before. I'm scared of this one if we pour a lot of that on.
It's not going to be a lot, I don't think. Maybe I'm just going to do a dab of that.
Okay.
Hold a dab.
That's a pretty big dab. They'd be proud.
I
Hot
can
ones
handle
would be
it.
proud.
I know.
All right, cut to Scorpion Pepper. So MRI is done. We come home for the night. We have our consultation today with Dr. Mark Smith from Carolina Neurosurgery and Spine Clinic here in Charlotte.
He's actually on vacation, so he FaceTimed
Actually on
us.
vacation, FaceTimed us to go over our results. Super reputable place. We feel very comfortable with him. We feel very comfortable with his team.
Mm-hmm.
All of, we did some research and
He did research.
reached out to people about this particular clinic. I have no problem if the surgery happens here. That's fine. We are going to get a second opinion at Duke on Tuesday, but if all else, I'm good with what's about to happen. So on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, the 15th, 14th or 15th, I should probably know this date, of July, she's scheduled for brain surgery, but you can talk about the results of.
I asked him to compare it to a size of fruit because I love that Jim Gaffigan stand up talking about brain tumor fruit size. He gave me a tangerine. Although I guess it's not like one big tangerine, it's kind of spread out.
Yeah. So tangerine tumor, right? It's not a grape, it's not a cherry, it's also not an orange or an apple or a grapefruit. It's somewhere in the middle. Dr.
Ghost
Smith,
peppers.
yeah,
Hot.
these are really hot.
Scorpion, I knew.
Dr. Smith is confident, he's seen this before. It's not an atypical kind of thing. He didn't come in and he didn't seem upset or anything,
Mm-hmm.
didn't say it was inoperable or this is something new. He was like, hey, we see this all the time. We do this pretty regularly. Here's what you're dealing with. Katie's tumor is diffuse. It is a primary tumor, which means it originated in her brain. Didn't come from an outside source, which means the probability of it being cancerous is far less.
Which they won't know until they get in there and can run it through pathology.
Yeah, they'll run it through pathology, but the fact that it's primary is kind of good in this situation. It is diffuse, which means it's spread out a little bit over her temporal lobe. It's not on the base of her brain. It's not in too deep. There are some parts of it that are a little deep that they think are worrisome for the surgery, so they may not take those out right away.
They said that it moves around, so once they take part of the part that they know that they can take out, then they might have a better picture to see what to take next.
So gross, but if you can think about if you took your fist and put a fist-size mass in your head, and then all of a sudden you remove that, of course things are going to move around and expose some other things. So, that's real hot. We were hoping that they would say, hey, we're going to get it all out and be done. That didn't happen, but the news that we got was pretty good in that they are definitely going to go in. It's prime for surgery. They're going to remove as much as they can and then see what happens. So the only kind of, that's not really an obstacle, but the option that we have to consider is that the Duke Brain Tumor Center which is one of the best in the world. Dr. Alan Friedman is one of the top 2 or 3 neurosurgeons in the country. We'll do our consult on Tuesday. And even our doctor here said that Duke may recommend doing brain surgery while Katie's awake. And if they do it while she's awake, what they can do is kind of constantly be monitoring motor and cognitive function while they're taking out the tumor, which means they can probably get more of it out right now in one shot, as opposed to Carolina Neurosurgical and Spine wants to put her to sleep, get as much out of it as they can, and then do an MRI in a year and a half or 2 years, see how things kind of reconfigure, what it looks like.
He said it's likely slow growing, but again, we won't know that part until the pathology comes back. But
that's good news. Likely slow growing is good news. Other good news is that where her tumor is growing is that over the last few months or the last year or maybe even 10 years, who knows how long it's been in there, is that just in the last few months, it started to push against the area of her brain that controls motor function for her upper left side, which is exactly what we noticed. Like a couple of months ago, we noticed that her left side was getting a little weak and that she wasn't able to kind of control some things, and
couldn't braid my hair.
braiding her hair was an issue.
So I just put in a ponytail and forgot about it.
I'm not crying. That wing sauce was just super hot. But in my perspective, that was a good thing because, there are people out there right now that their tumor is recognized by the fact that it's deeper in their brain, and all of a sudden they're not breathing, or they can't swallow, or they can no longer control their heart function. Hers is higher up in the lobe and was gently pushing on an area that made her arm feel a little weird, and that was a signal for us to get checked out.
And he did say that the neurological part that would be affected afterwards would most likely be motor and not cognitive. So that's good news for everyone who has to
He's
talk
probably
to me.
going to remember my name and all the terrible shit I've done. Or I didn't want to swear. Man, that was pretty hot.
Really hot. This is going to be hot too.
So that's the diagnosis, right? She has this diffuse brain tumor on the right side of her temporal lobe. It's about the size of a tangerine. They don't think they can take it all out at once, but they're not real worried about that because they think they can go in, either clean it up or potentially, depending on how aggressive it is, do radiation and clean it up. He did give us an option of doing surgery immediately, like next Wednesday or Friday, or he said if we want to wait a little bit, that's fine too, which tells me, if your doctor's telling you can wait a little bit to do this, that's a positive.
We're not going to wait.
We're not waiting.
For Wednesday.
We're just going to do this, right? We want to get this done. But for some of you that I've talked to already, like really close friends and family, we did phone calls. I say, going into this phone call today with the doctor, I had this kind of Likert scale in mind on a scale of 1 to 10 or 1 to 7, and 1 was going to be the worst news possible, which is inoperable, aggressive, obviously cancerous tumor, and then 10 being, oh guys, we made a mistake. There's actually just a bobby pin stuck in her hair and there's no tumor. We came out at about a 7 and a half. We have some stuff we need to deal with, but it's generally positive, and generally we're in good shape, right?
Yeah, access to great care and lots of
hot.
friends with resources. Yeah, my mouth's watering a lot. You better sauce up, buddy.
Which one is this?
Roast pepper.
Man, you're either hungry or
Very
a glutton
hungry.
for punishment. I'll finish that one.
What's the fifth part of this?
We're not at the 5th yet. This is the 4th. I have it outlined. The 4th part is plan of action. Next steps over the next few days, what we're doing. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Hot one.
Oh, it was a little hot.
Come.
You're handling it so much better than me. God. That's the one.
Mm-hmm. That's a bad one.
Bear with us. I hope that camera can't pick up all the gross sounds my mouth is making.
Probably can. I'm not in a hurry to eat that one again, but I like that Polynesian sauce.
Number Chapter 4 is our next steps. Wow.
So basically, surgery on Wednesday, unless Duke tells us something radically different and we change our plan.
You flew through that.
Right?
Yes. I'm struggling.
It's real freaking hot.
You're doing so great. So, we've had our consult with Carolina Neurosurgical and Spine. We trust them. We like our doctor. We like our surgical team. We love the PA. She's met the nurses already we'd be working with at the ICU, so there's a relationship there. It's here in Charlotte, which means just closer to home, closer to everybody. On Tuesday, we're going to go to Durham and meet with Dr. Alan Friedman at the Duke Brain Tumor Center. He has all the MRIs, all the information that he needs to give us an evaluation of what he thinks. If his recommendation is, like Katie said, drastically different, like if he says, no, I think we should do this, then we have to think about some stuff and figure out what we're going to do. But if his recommendation is very similar or the same as what we get here, and that he says they can totally handle that here and it's not a big deal, because what we asked Dr. Smith that, how common is this, or where does she fall on the scale of super rare?
He said you're not a special kid.
He said, this is pretty average. We see this. No brain tumor is average, but as far as brain tumors go, this is pretty average. This is what they work on all the time, which means when we go to Duke, they may say, this is nothing special, just get it done in Charlotte, and then we're here with everybody, and it's just easier. I guess worst case scenario is if they give us a totally different diagnosis and say, no, they're wrong, you shouldn't do that. But we'll cross that bridge when it comes, which means we'll have to cross it on the way home from Durham because surgery is scheduled for Wednesday morning, which I kind of like. See them on Tuesday, give us your diagnosis. We got about 8 hours to decide. But at this point, I think we both feel pretty comfortable that Wednesday morning at 10 a.m., mm-hmm. She's going in for surgery. They say the surgery will be about 4 to 5 hours. Half of that is a preliminary MRI where they do some retesting, map her brain functions, put her under, and then get in and take out as much of it as they can. With no complications post-op, she should be in the hospital for about 2 to 3 days and then be home, which is amazing to me. I can't believe they do that fast. There is about a 5% probability that she would suffer some temporary paralysis on her left side. If that happens, they say that she may stay for a week or more, right? But that quickly goes away, and it's only 5%. I told her earlier that for somebody that I've met that has never had any desire to have children or didn't want to go through that, it seems very much like she's going through childbirth. You're going to go in the hospital, go into the knife for
having a tangerine.
A certain amount of hours. You're going to come out, they're going to hold you for 2 or 3 days, and then they're going to send you home to deal with life. Congratulations, you have a tangerine. They're not going to let us keep it. They're going to send it off for pathology, and then we'll go from there.
So maybe have a chunk of it.
Maybe have a chunk of it. Our friend Galliston wants a chunk of it for a paperweight. That is our synopsis. That's what we're dealing with. I'm sorry if this video was too long. I'll probably just post it as is. I don't think we had many major mess ups or curses, and it's kind of fun to do this. The last thing we wanted to do was we're going to do this really hot spice.
You sure you still want to?
Yeah, my nose is running. It's running down my face. I just don't think that people can see it.
I'm sure they can.
But with this is just for us because we're wild. Tell me when.
I thought that was fine.
Do that one right there. what we want to say is right back to the beginning. If you know Kate and I, like what you see is what you get. We're an open book.
We're just taking it as it comes.
We're taking this day to day as it comes, and part of what drives us motivationally is that we think that the things that we're given in life, or the things that we're challenged with, or that we're presented with, by overcoming them, we can help other people.
It's an opportunity for growth.
Yeah, it's always an opportunity for growth, and this is no other. Like, is this ideal? No. Is it like, do we lose sleep over it? Yes. Are there times when, like, I just am worried or freaking out about what the next day or week or month holds? Absolutely. But it doesn't, I never lose track of positivity and optimism and our focus on like the good things that we can do next and the people that have it far worse than us. So we do these videos and we created the page, and it really truly is not about, I don't want it to be about me. I don't even necessarily want it to be about like our situation. I just telling her the other day, I would love if 3 or 4 or 5 years down the road, if somebody that is involved in this can remember it and then have another person that's going through something say, hey, I knew these people that went through something like this. Here's how you handle it, or here's what you do. Because ultimately, none of us are guaranteed anything. And so we could all wake up tomorrow and have a terrible diagnosis or have something terrible happen to us in our lives. Or, you know, sometimes the most undeserving people have things put upon them that it just crushes you. And you think, why should they have that? But you can't think that way, because once it's happened, it's happened. Like, it's yours. You need to own it. You need to take it in and figure out how to work with it. And part of that is us. The reason we're able to do that is because we have all of you. We are so grateful for all of you and the support, the outreach, and the pictures and memories and all of those things that go into helping us remember exactly why we are who we are. And it's important to us. So, you ready to try this?
Yeah.
I'm not crying. It is just very hot.
I know. There's a lot of liquid in my mouth.
Whew. Oh man, it is gonna be bad.
The sauce was worse.
I can't believe how good you're doing. You never do this well. You're gonna be so weak when they remove that tumor.
It's all my power.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the fact that I have a brain tumor, and so what's a
shit.
little hot sauce?
My shit is hot.
Okay, you want to try not to curse.
Yeah, sorry. So, thank you, everybody. We'll give you another update as soon as we know. But as of right now,
surgery on Wednesday.
Surgery on Wednesday. Does no good to send flowers or anything. They don't accept them. There's no visitors. Cards, you can keep your cards. We'll let you know when we're home. We do appreciate the love, the thoughts, the respect, the outpouring. Let's keep that coming. But don't spend any of your money on stuff for us.
No, we're good.
We'll be fine, and we'll keep you updated. And we love you and appreciate you, and really, really cherish that we have you in our corner.
For sure.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. We love you.